Hello everybody and welcome to another set of Bigfoot Tales. Today, instead of a story, I'm going to take you out into the woods with me on a recent hike. And I spent probably about 6 or 7 hours in the woods that day looking at different stick structures. And part of the problem that we have with some of the evidence that's being presented as a Bigfoot sign is that so much of it can be manufactured by human beings that it's hard to tell. There is no proof that a lot of the stuff I see is actually caused by this mysterious anomaly. So we have to really dig down deep into our belief systems to accept some of this as real. And probably the most visible and easily replicated set of evidence that or indicators that we have of the existence of this creature is what we call stick formations or stick structures. There's a lot of different sets of displays out there of these different things. And a lot of them can occur naturally, and then there are others that are clearly manufactured. I'm going to show you a short clip here of one that's clearly natural in nature. This one right here, you see an X. We commonly use X formations as Bigfoot indicators, but they can occur naturally. You can see from there that these are just simply saplings that were toppled over, and they just happen to fall in that particular thing. And if you're looking at it from one location, you can see an X, but it's not visible from another location. But then, as we're walking along, and by the way, I do apologize for the quality of this video. I was actually taking this quite late in the evening. It was growing dusk and the fog was starting to roll in, and I had a hard time finding an optimal setting on my camera keyboard that would allow me to take some really clears. But as we're looking at this particular instance coming up, you'll see that there are in fact various structures out there that simply do not occur in natural formation. Snow weight on a tree is quite common. That will make bends. It will also topple other trees over. This images here is of my long-standing peak I've taken you to very often, and you can go back into my videos and look at that. But this particular piece of video here shows several different trees or saplings stacked one on the other. Again, this is not on a trail where a bunch of little kids would be fooling around in the woods. There may have been little kids through here, but they wouldn't be doing this sort of thing. Furthermore, the size of these are of such a length, and they're so far up in the trees that little kids wouldn't have been able to do this. So it may have been done by man, and it's quite possible it would have had been an adult. The length of the saplings and the height that it's in the tree preclude any sort of foolishness by kids. But this sort of structure here is clearly not natural. Those sticks did not grow together, or saplings that were placed there, as you can see from the inset pictures that I'm placing in here. And then we get into more even complicated structures, as you'll see coming up here in this next video. And again, I do apologize again for the video, especially in this one coming up. It was getting actually pretty dark, and I couldn't get a lot of light in. I couldn't get iris open enough to really get a lot, but in this particular aspect of it. But here, coming up, you're going to see a bunch of different trees, not saplings, but trees, full-size trees that were placed into a smaller spruce tree or fir tree. in such a manner that you could tell that it wasn't caused by winterfall or a wind blowing the trees over. Usually when a tree falls on another tree, you'll find some bark scraping, branches broken off, and that sort of thing. But the ones were actually placed into the tree. And the inset pictures, again, will demonstrate more clearly what I'm trying to say here. This is not something that happened naturally. The combination of the trees and the limbs and everything else that were piled here couldn't have been done naturally. It had to have been placed there by some other sort of medium. Hard to tell for sure, what it is. I like to say that it's might have been done by Bigfoot, but I can't say that for sure because I have no proof of that. I can prove that it was not natural fall. It was done by the weather, not a windstorm, not a snowstorm, but it was caused by some external force, such as a human being or a being with a cognizant ability to perform these acts. Excuse me. But you'll see how it's intertwined here, and the sheer size of these trees and the limbs really preclude just casual encounter where somebody was fooling around trying to make it look like it's a natural thing. This was done purposely, and it was done specifically to create this structure. Now, as to who did the structure, again, I can't prove it, but you see the leak in the background there, by the way. But the sheer size of these, the limbs, preclude the probability of any kids doing it as a way of fooling around. Towards the end of the clip here, you'll see as I walk around it, the sheer size of these trees indicate that it would have to have at least been an adult that did it, or probably more likely two adults. Again, keep getting back to the issue of evidence and presenting a lot of what we see as being ironclad and foolproof evidence, but the sad part is when it comes to things like stick structures is that you either believe or you don't believe. But it's too easily replicated by human beings, and there's just so much that's going on in the world of Bigfoot that there are a growing number of people that are taking advantage of those of us that are willing to believe at any cost, and we can be easily duped by some of these pieces of evidence that are being presented as proof of Bigfoot. Again, there's so much that's easily replicated that it's hard to tell. And I don't want to keep harping on a lot of the negative aspects of this hobby, if you want to call it that, of Bigfoot hunting. But you do have to be careful of what you're looking at. Again, just take a look at the sheer size of these limbs. And it's not on a trail. There is a trail going through the woods, popular fishing hole down there, but this clearly was not done simply as a matter of the weather. This just doesn't happen in this combination of falls up by a natural basis. There are too many pieces that are going in too many different directions. And the inset pictures that you'll see here, again, that I'm putting up, clearly demonstrate that. Well, let's get back to my point here, that in the field of what we call Bigfoot research. We have to begin to seriously audit what we're doing. A lot of people just throw up a bunch of some, they claim it's proof. It isn't really proof. It's just, suggestive evidence at best. Unless we actually see one of these structures being completed by a Sasquatch or a Bigfoot or whatever you want to call it, it's not a proof. So we have to start perhaps getting together, those of us that are serious about this, and coming up with a way where we can actually document some of these structures. Later on this year, I'm planning on doing a full-length video of a trip where I'm going to document tracking a Sasquatch, where I'm going to be utilizing some of these structures that I believe, I can't prove, but I believe that they may have been built or created specifically by Sasquatch, and I'm going to follow the route that I believe these structures indicate as kind of like a guidepost or a road sign, I guess you could call it, that indicates a trail that actually leads and weaves in and out through populated areas that go through some greenways that, number one, takes a figure, a being, to a place where there is food, and number two, back through that area as the trail goes around that populated area and moves up along the route of travel that I think these things take. But that'll be later on this fall. I've actually started it early, but there's just too much foliage in the way, and the structures are not clear. So I'm going to wait until the leaves change and the coloring is a little bit different, and it will look a lot better. But anyhow, I'm just rambling today about 6 structures. Hope you enjoyed it, and don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time on